Hello guys, welcome back. In this tutorial, let's understand about try-catch mechanism in Python in detail. So if you're aware of any other programming language, then you must be aware about these try and catch because these are commonly used terminology in all programming language. Let's suppose you wanted to write a code. And when you think that your code may fail, but you don't want your test cases to stop when you come across that failure, then you can wrap that specific code which you think that will fail in a try block that we will see with example very soon. But please concentrate on what I'm saying right now. When you think that code may fail, but you don't want your test case to stop when you come across that failure, then you can wrap that specific code which you think that will fail in a try block so that when exception is raised in the try block, your test will be sent into another block called catch. Okay, so this will not fail. So this will not fail. If you don't wrap your failure code in a try block and when you run the test, obviously your test case will fail. We will see this shortly with a example, but just understand this. But if it is now in a try block, it won't fail. It will raise an exception and send control back to the catch block. In catch block, you can write statements like what is an error, why do you reach that specific block with a proper logging. Let me show you with a proper example. Let's take an example about reading a file and writing a file. Okay, so first of all, let's start a block called try and then a colon. Okay, so this is one of the exception reserved keyword and make sure you put colon and code indentation will start from here. Okay, so let's try to write a code where you'll open one text file. So I will say with open. I'm just taking an example for you for your visual so that it gets clearer to you. I'll say test.text and then I will say then as a reader. Okay, so I'll be a reader and then colon. Here we are opening a file. Okay, so we're opening a file and you know that this file does not exist. So you see here there's no file called test.txt, right? Test.text. And you know this file does not exist at all. So here we are trying to open this file. Okay, then I'll say as a reader and then I would say read. Perfect. Okay, now before let us understand this without this block and how it performs. Okay, so let's run this and we'll see what happens. So run this. Yeah, definitely. So we knew about this that there's no test file here and it will give you this error. It says no such file or directory test.text. Perfect. But what if you don't want to fail your test? If you don't want to fail your test and simply catch this exception. And in that case, you can use the try block. That is the case when you will use the try block. So we'll say try colon, then one tab. Okay. Okay guys, now carefully understand this. Try block will actually help you to get the error, but it won't fail the test. But it will send its control to another block. Okay, whenever it sees a failure in try block. Whenever it sees a failure in try block, as we have discussed while I was talking about try catch, what it does is it will not fail your test. If it encounters that there is some failure, right now you've seen, right, there is a failure and it throws an exception called no such file or directory. But if you do not want your test case to fail, so what happens, it will go to another block and that block is nothing but except block. So why I was telling you try and a catch, now I'll tell you. Okay, now remember this. Okay, in Python instead of catch we use except block, but in another programming but in another programming language like Java, C Sharp, C++, we use the keyword called catch. But in Python, we will use a keyword called except. That means exception, the shortcut. Okay. So just remember, if you're talking about Python, we will not say catch. In Python, we say except. See. Okay, now understand. Okay. That means there is an exception raised in the try block. Control will immediately come to catch block without failing the test case. So here I can write the statement colon and I would say print, and I would say print, I will say something like this: I reached this block because there is a failure in try block. Perfect. I'm making it as simple as possible, guys. Okay, so let's run one more time and you will not see failure like this. You will not see a failure something like this. Now just run this and you see I reached this block because there's a failure in try block. Okay, so it still failed. It still failed because this time the control is sent to exception block and there's a print statement that you give your understanding. For example, you are aware of that, it is like giving the custom message. If the try block fails, you're giving the custom messages, right? If the try block fails, but it still fails because there is no file called test.txt, right? Now let's give the actual text file name which will be present. Now let's quickly create one text file here and we say automation.txt text, and I'll here say automation.txt, and now let's run this and see what we get. Perfect. So this time there is no error here because our code is correct. And we have corrected the code, if you remember, right? So we've given the text file, which is now we have it. It's present. So then this try block will get executed and there'll be no error as such, and the control will not go to the except block, right? Always remember, it will go to except block only if there's a failure. If there's no failure, perfect. If there's a failure, the control will go to the except block. Okay. Now you must be thinking, why will I use this and where will I use this kind of scenarios? But there is a lot of scope, guys. Now I'll tell you with an example. If you hit any website, sometimes there is some uncertainty to get some pop-up. Sometimes you will get and sometimes you may not get. Now, if you wanted to write a code to handle the pop-up using your automation, okay, but as I said, sometimes you might not see the pop-up. That time when you try to handle or close the pop-up, when pop-up does not exist, what happens to your test? Your test will fail, correct? Say, if you remove it, sometimes pop-up might display. And when if you don't have a code, that time, what will you do? I mean, so you have to write that pop-up handling code in the try block, right? So for example, if pop-up is there, it's well and good. Now in our case, we have taken a similar example, right? So now you see in the try block, now since we have this text file, it will open. And for example, if the text file is not there, it will throw an exception and the switch comes to except block. Perfect. So if this mechanism, if you follow, your test will not fail. It will keep on continuing. This is one of the scenario where you can use the try and except block. I'm just giving you one scenario where exactly you can use the try except block. Okay. And you know that even if it is not present, it will not interrupt your test. Right. It is not going to interrupt your test. For example, in this scenario, even if this text file is not present, the execution comes to the except block and it further continues. It will not stop your script and it will not interrupt your execution. That is the main funda here, guys. Okay. Now here you see you are writing your customized message, right? Okay, so what if you want to know what exception is being thrown by Python instead you printing your own message? So how can you do that? For that, let me create one more block. So you just copy here and then paste. Okay, let's say it would throw the error again. Just consider that it will throw an error again because we have this TST text in this block as well. So here I would give you another way to catch the error, what Python will throw us. So you should say something like this time. You say accept exception as E. Okay, now so basically when there's an error in the try block, now if there's an error, and we know that there'll be an error because there is a test.txt where we don't have this file at all, so definitely it will throw an error. When try, so what Python has will be sent to this E variable. Okay, listen carefully. So basically when there is an error in try block, the message what Python has will be sent to this E variable of this except block. E variable of this except block. Okay. So instead of your customized message, you can print that E variable now. I don't want the customized error. I would say E. Correct? Because now you're referring to that exception what try caught here as E variable. That's how you are catching the complete error what Python has. Okay, and now this E that you see now here is right. So E is a reference variable of exception, and once it is stored in it, and when you print E, when it is stored here and when you're printing E, this time it will still pass the test, but this time it will show the error what Python actually caught, but that would interrupt your test fail. Okay, that is not going to interrupt your test fail. Again, this is also same. I mean, we are not doing anything extra. The only thing that I told you is instead of us writing the customized message, it is always good to have what Python throws an error, and this is how we can do that. Okay, so now you've seen in this second method, it is smartly captured the error what we got from the Python. Instead, in the first method that you see in the first method, right? First method, we were printing our customized error message, which is not correct, as it can fail with n number of reasons, right? So you just cannot say that, okay, this block failed because of this reason. Now here we are restricting it, but here we are not. I mean, whatever error that we get, it will be caught and it will be printed. As easy as that. Now let's run this. Now you will see in the first method what we have written, it gives us the customized message, but you see the beauty of the second one. We have not written any error, but it itself says that no such file or directory, and it is correct. There is no such file or directory here, and that is the reason of it is failure. Next time it could be something else, right? So it is always advisable to use this. So I believe you like this and the concept are clear now.